Sir, quite some time back you wrote a book on future of HRD. It was a very fascinating book and the ideas that you talked about then, I think they are more relevant now as ever before. What are your thoughts on that?
I think the future of HRD as a department unfortunately has not taken off in the right kind of a direction in the last 15-20 years, in spite of all that we had done by establishing National HRD Network, Academy of HRD, and a whole lot of other things. I think the counter forces which pushed HRD towards administration and deviated it from competence building, commitment building, culture building are many. So today, very unfortunately, barring a small size of HR professionals who still work for competence, commitment, and culture building, a large number of them have started enjoying the power associated with HR, which is the administration part of it, and reduced human resource development to human resource administration. So as a result, HR in quite a few of the companies is looked down upon and not seen as a happiness creation function or commitment culture and competence building kind of a function. So this has brought in so much of disgrace that somebody like Vineet Nair had to comment a few years from now there will be HRD will vanish, which is just to be taken in its kind of a context. What he meant was that if you only do administration in the name of HRD, you're going to vanish because computers will take over. I think this is what we are trying to rejuvenate HRD by telling people if you are a HR facilitator, if you are a HR department, human resource development has started to bring happiness at work. In fact, in 1975, when we formulated the concepts of human resource function and human resource development, the thing that struck us was that when an employee goes to work at 8 a.m., what is it on his face? Reluctance to go for work. And at 5 p.m., when he takes the company bus to come back home, happy to come back home. So that means work is not an enjoyable kind of a thing, while workplace is the place where he spends about 60 to 70% of his waking life. So we said HRD should transform this and make the person happy and look forward to go to the company, and that is possible only when you make work meaningful. That means you have to create systems. In fact, in those days we said appraisals should not be linked with incentives. Performance should be linked with incentives but not appraisal. Appraisal should be linked with development. You appraise, you measure to communicate to an individual, you have come so far, you can do a lot more. To coach the person to do a lot more. So we introduced coaching. To plan people to take care of his or her own job, so that we introduced succession planning. All these are meant to build for the future, but none of it has taken place. It remained only on paper. So we are now trying to rejuvenate and regenerate the lost cause of HRD by saying human is not a resource, human is a possibility. I mean, that is something which we are promoting. I genuinely believe that a human is a possibility, but I don't believe human is not a resource. Human is a resource so that the possibilities can happen, because we always maintain that talent is unlimited and things of that kind. So the future of HR, if what we are now trying to rejuvenate, reposition HR, if it is taken seriously, if a large number of HR people change their own kind of orientation and put in front of them the biggest task of making every employee his or her own HR manager, then HR has a bright future.
You
Okay,
recently
thank you.
talked about human happiness recovery.
Yes.
So, what would you like to expand on this?
Oh, happiness recovery, I am meaning for all those HR departments who have created systems which create pain. So I think we have to re-examine all HR systems. Appraisal time, I think 15% people are identified as outstanding people, 85% people become unhappy. That's not right. When 100 of them have worked all through the year, how can you make 15 people happy and 85 people unhappy? You have to work out mechanisms by which everyone is happy. So that means HR has to revisit its systems. When you promote a person, one person becomes happy, six other people become unhappy. That's not the right thing to do. So what are the mechanisms? I think we need to think. So When I say happiness revival department, regeneration department, what I mean is HR has to re-examine its systems and process and should be able to discover new mechanisms, new structures, new systems, new process, so that everyone is happy to go to work and everyone is happy, feel proud to work for the organization and so on. That is
Thank you,
what I
sir.
mean.